Please welcome to the stage style expert and founder of Glam for Good. She's gorgeous, Mary Alice Stevenson.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be with all of you today. It's great to see so many familiar faces. As Scott just said, I have been a longtime editor and a style commentator, and I founded a nonprofit and empowerment platform called Glam for Good. So I'd love for all of you guys to check it out, that uses fashion and beauty to empower women and girls. So I've been super lucky to get to know Monica and her incredible brand and jewelry, both from the fashion industry and from Glam for Good, which is my heart, and she's been so supportive. I really admire Monica greatly. I get emotional when I talk about her because she's so inspiring, and you guys will all love her as well. So she's revolutionized the jewelry industry, and she is loved across the globe. I mean, you'll all get to know her, and you'll love her too. And she might make you cry too. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Monica Vinader. Please, please give her a warm hand. I started crying. I started literally tearing up. Monica has been supporting Glam for Good, my nonprofit, and it's just been incredible. And I just started talking about you and immediately got teary-eyed. But
don't cry.
you just flew in. Tell everybody from where.
Well, I've just flown in from London, especially for Nordstrom's Live, which is a huge privilege. Thank you. It's a huge honor, and I was just told before stepping on stage that I was the first jewelry brand to present to you all, so no pressure. But it's a real privilege to be in front of all of you, so thank you very much for having me.
So I'm going to get right to the questions. Happy 10-year anniversary. Congratulations. 10 years. 10 years that you have really broken so many barriers and glass ceilings as a female founder. You are truly an inspiration. Let's go back to the vision for the brand when it first started 10 years ago, and has it changed today?
Yes, I think I've been known to be quite determined and focused in the past, and I think when I first set up to create Monica Vinader, I had a real sense that there was a bit of a gap in the jewelry market between what I call fine and costume jewelry, where women like me who were working moms and earning our own money and being independent could buy jewelry that was beautiful, well-designed, but really accessible. And I had this vision of a very inclusive brand that could really reach a lot of people without compromising on quality, design, care, and the integrity that I think we've brought to our brand. And that was sort of always the premise, and really is still, I think, at the core of everything that we do. It's to really come out with jewelry that every woman can buy for herself and not wait for a guy necessarily to buy for her. She can buy her own diamonds, her own gems, and that is very, very much still part of our ethos today.
And that's what I love you call that self-gifting. I think you really kind of brought that to the forefront with jewelry, the idea that you don't have to wait. And you can buy it for yourself.
I think self-purchasing is now, in the jewelry environment, is a lot more common. I think 10 years ago, certainly when we started, it was not as easy because there were not as many brands like myself doing that. And I think that was one thing we wanted to create. We also wanted to create, I think, a brand and a company that was shaped to our values and that we could really own, my sister and myself. And I think that integrity and that vibrancy and that energy really cascades to our product, but also, I think, the way that we conduct ourselves every day in our company.
So over the last 10 years, what are you most proud of? 10 years of an incredible brand, what are you most proud of?
Well, there's my sister in the 80s with myself on holiday. I think I'm still to this day proudest of convincing Gabby, who's my one and only sister, to join this business that I had semi-articulated to her. She was at the time working with Amazon. She had been with Merrill Lynch and BCG. And I felt she had the complementary skills that I needed to create, to jump on this adventure. And I think we had enough shared values and enough of a similar energy and passion that we could do really well. And it took a while to convince her. She's quite a toughie.
Said she actually, Monica told me earlier, she didn't wear jewelry. She didn't even really like jewelry too much. I mean, so tell me what
she's
happened.
famously known for saying,
story.
I could, I don't mind what I'm selling. I could be selling water bottles. And I went, oh, okay. And she said, I'm really not interested in jewelry. That's your thing. And I said, okay, well, put on this ring and we'll see. And she put on one ring, and that was the only jewelry she wore other than a pair of old pearl earrings that she had. And I remember at one point, having sort of been in the business together for a few months, she turned up to a meeting and she stacked 3 rings together. And at that point, I knew if I could convert my sister into wearing jewelry and stack up rings, I thought, okay, this is it. Anybody can do it. Literally. So it was an amazing moment.
So, female founder, female-led business. And the last 10 years, we know there must have been some challenges, because there always is, right, in life and in work. Tell us about an example of a challenge that you had to deal with and how you overcame it.
Well, there have been quite a few, for sure. I think, it's interesting looking at pictures of our headquarters in the countryside in Norfolk. It's incredibly an idyllic place to work, and I think we have created an incredible environment for our teams. But when we first started, it was a very far cry from that. We set up together in 2008 with a sort of global recession in our midst, and friends and family were not coming up with any funding whatsoever. But Gabby and I were very confident that we had a good project, that we had a good plan, and we remortgaged our family house to really buy enough inventory to get us through the holiday season. Now, we had a great holiday season, and it paid off. But I have to say, those first 2 years where our house was remortgaged, and we were so disciplined about every penny that we spent. And that moment when we repaid the loan was, for me, that was a huge thing, because I knew that my family house was okay and that the business was going. And I think to this day, I still find that is the biggest thing that drives me. And I remember how that felt and what we did then. And that sort of encourages me to keep going. But I think that was the toughest thing that we did.
But that's what I love about you and I love about the brand. There's so much passion. It's love-fueled, complete commitment from the beginning. And you really can feel that in your jewelry, too. Let's talk about the future now. 12 months from now, Monica Vinader, the brand, what will be happening 2019 into 2020? What is your main focus?
I like to have a very specific focus for everything that I do. And I think if you look at these pictures, you guys are one of our big focus.
Michigan Avenue. Yes, let's hear it. That's so beautiful, Monica.
So our presence in the United States could not have happened without the support and the partnership of Nordstrom's. I think the adventure that they jumped on with us has been incredible. The last 3 years have been very, very special to us. I think as a company, Nordstrom's is very aligned to a lot of our beliefs, and certainly our customer-obsessed, as we call it, our customer-obsessed view of business. And I think our expansion with Nordstrom's has been very, very special. And we've got 35 doors with engraving and 55 doors altogether, with 5 shop-in-shops, which you can see. And I think one of the exciting things about this year is bringing more personalization to your consumers. I think personalization is key to our DNA, and I know it's key to the Nordstrom's DNA. And I think you can see one of our personalization engraving machines, which we've rolled out to 35 doors. We're rolling out to the full 55, and we're working on some online integration. And I think for us, the way Nordstrom has partnered with us to be able to bring our consumers this very, very special service, and you'll see a little bit later why it is so special to the consumer, has been amazing. So we're rolling out all of the engraving service and really continuing to work with Nordstrom's. And I think our second big focus for next year is to get to know our consumer. So the consumer that is really making our brand. It is all about them. And actually, that means that it's all about you, because you are in contact with those customers. You're really representing us. And you really are the people that we look to really offer that service and those products. So really getting to know the consumer through you. I've just come back from 2 PAs in Southern California where I've not only got to know the consumers, but I've also got to know your teams, and that is really special to us. I think that the other big thing for us always is product. The way we focus on our designs, you're going to see some of the new collections. Amber, our lead designer, is going to present some of the products that are launching this week and further on that will be in your stores. I think we are so excited always about our product, and we're already working on 2020 on beautiful gems, beautiful diamond pieces, and that is really still at the core of everything that we do.
Now, you've got quite a bit of celebrities wearing your jewelry right now. And Duchess of Cambridge, she's going to come up in a minute. Charlize, I mean, really, yep, I think. Yep, there she is. And I always wonder, how does it make you feel? Because I know you have personal relationships with a lot of these superstars, and they're loving your jewelry, and they're wearing it not only on the red carpet, but in their real life. They live in it, basically.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it's pretty amazing to watch the Duchess of Cambridge or Bella Hadid, who have so many options and so many choices of what other brands they could wear. To pick us, that's a huge thing for us, and it's a huge compliment. We have also incredible bloggers that follow us and that we work with, and who share our product with their readers, and they style it in their own way and they make it their own, and that is really important to us. But really, in all honesty, I think for me the real hero is every woman that I bumped on the train, at the airport. I was coming over from London with Amber, who you'll meet later, and she said, "Oh, I just saw someone at the airport wearing a Riva ring." I have been known to accost people and say, and when we were looking for a store in New York, I famously accosted a woman in Prada in Soho, because she was laden with Monica Vinader, and she styled it with other brands that you guys have. And I actually asked, I sort of went up to her, I said, "Oh, where did you buy your jewelry?" And she said, "Well, I bought it in Nordstrom's." And I said, "Oh, okay. And actually, I'm Monica Vinader." And she looked at me and she shrieked in the middle of Prada. It was so embarrassing. But it was amazing. And actually, she now comes to see us from time to time, she passes by. But so to me, that is what really makes all the difference, actually.
I loved, you also said that you loved how she layered her jewelry with other things, her personal jewelry. She mixed it in, and it became she wore it all together, and you really loved that and appreciated that.
Well, I think that's one of the key things about our pieces. I think some jewelry designers make things that sort of wear you, and I think our ethos is very much we make jewelry that you wear, that you make your own. And you can sit in a room and look at different people wearing the same product, and they make it look completely different. And to me, that's what's key about what we do.
There's such an emotional aspect of jewelry, which we've talked about. And you are really considered an inspiration to so many people out there, disrupting the jewelry market and achieving so much success in a fairly short amount of time. I know you're ambitious, and but what I know that fuels that in being your friend and someone that's seen what you've accomplished is your heart. So tell me a little bit about that force that you have, as I know Monica gets so excited about her jewelry and is a passionate person and a connector and a woman helping other women, which I think is crucially important. So you've managed to connect pretty with purpose, and talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think there's a few things there. I think in terms of sort of drive and what kind of motivates me, I think I grew up in a family where my mother was not only a working mum, but she has set up her own business, and my father then joined her in the venture. And a working mum was part of my life. It was that was the norm for me. And she was an incredibly energetic, driven woman with an incredible eye and a lot of energy. And I think that sort of seeps into you. And I think my parents drove a lot of confidence into the both of us. And I think it gave us an incredible sort of platform to then do what we do. But I think I was sort of hardwired to be entrepreneurial and to give things a go. And I think that positive female role model was very important in my life, for sure. And I think it's something that I'm quite conscious when I think about my daughter, who's only 12, but I think positive female role models are key for women to get on in life. And I think when you talked about, Glam for Good, Mary Alice touched on earlier, we've worked with you, we work with Women for Women International. It is really important to help other women and empower them to do well and to get on. And for me, my biggest mission, I think for me personally, is to be a positive role model as much as I can be with all my flaws.
I've literally taken Monica's jewelry into homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, into natural disaster zones, and you could be going through so much in life, but jewelry, to actually see that, the size in those moments of women looking at her jewelry, and it just made them feel so special and adored, and for a second, just so happy, filled with joy. And we've talked about that a lot with your jewelry, so much joy.
Absolutely. I think everybody can make their day joyful with a piece of jewelry. It kind of fits every woman. It's absolutely, so easy. And I think that's one of the sort of most special things that I think we feel that we bring to our customers. And when we spend time with our customers, we hear their stories, and they're really kind of very moving, actually. And in a way, I really want to both thank you all for representing us as a brand and doing that job of bringing that joy to your customers. And maybe when they ask you, what is it about this jewelry? Why is it so special? I think, maybe from me that what's special about our jewelry is that it's made for them with them in mind. And it's very much about bringing that little bit of joy to every day. And that's why we talk about everyday fine jewelry, because it really is about the everyday. Our everyday should be special. And so I really hope that you can pass on that message.
It's a beautiful one. Vermeil. Okay, so am I even saying that right?
Vermeil.
Vermeil. It's historic. It's something that you use, that you've kind of disrupted the industry by using it, brought it back, and you use it in your jewelry. Explain to everybody what that is and the process.
So vermeil is an old French spelling of vermilion, but it's an old French word, and it really describes a technique that helps balance quality and value to me, which is kind of at the core of what we do. It's using a solid sterling silver base with 24 karat gold. And it's a technique that was used a lot in the 18th and 19th century. It actually became very popular in the United States in the 19th century. And in fact, in the White House, there's a vermeil room full of sterling silver objects with gold. And I had heard about vermeil from my mother, who was running an antique business, and she had a lot of antique items that were vermeil, and she often needed to get them restored. So I talked to her and to her restorer, and I started investigating how could I apply that to the jewelry that I was designing. So 2008, not very many people were doing vermeil. It is a hot trend right now, but it was at the time, it was much harder for me to not only embrace it and do it properly, but really express to everybody the benefits of it. So we really pioneered it. I think I really got behind it because I believed in that combined benefit of getting that fantastic quality, but with amazing value, so that we could all access the product and wear it. And so vermeil is now a little bit more known, but it is sort of the core of what we do.
Inspiration when you design, and I know Amber's going to come talk about that a little bit more too, but what are your inspirations and what is that design process for you?
Well, I had an artistic background. I went to art school. Then I went through a couple of businesses, one with my husband, and sort of went into a startup. And I ended up back in jewelry. But my artistic background and the aesthetics that I developed sort of growing up around a lot of antiques, I think have informed a lot of what I now put into my jewelry. I've traveled a lot. I was in the travel industry, and my interests have always been around sculpture, modern architecture, definitely nature as well. But we look at a lot of the same consistent references, very simple modernist architecture, and that really gets poured into pretty much everything that we do. As a team, we work really together with our sketchbooks, our mood boards, and we really get together to really design collections that have integrity, but that also are all about good design. For me, what I learned from my mum certainly, is that good design is really important and that good design lasts. So if it's well designed and it's crafted beautifully, it lasts forever. And I think that's one of the things that we focus on the most.
So I know we've got to in this conversation, you and I could sit up here and keep going, I know, but we have to in this, and we're going to bring Amber out. But you were talking to me about how proud you feel to be in this room today and to be with all of the people that are working with your pieces and presenting and giving that joy to customers.
Yes, I think for me, the most incredible thing working with Nordstrom's has been the strength of the relationship, the way that I have felt welcome into the Nordstrom's family. I have a sort of semi-family business with my sister, and I have felt incredibly welcome into the Nordstrom's family. And I think for me, what is the biggest thing of all is I feel incredible gratitude to all of you, because you're all out there representing my brand, our products, and all of the efforts that we put in. You take it to your customers, and I have seen it firsthand. I have seen it in our PAs, the passion with which you look after your customers and look after us. So I really wanted to say a really big thank you, not just to all of you in the room, but really to the bigger Nordstrom's family that have supported us and walked on this journey with us, which has been pretty incredible.
Well, you're incredible, Monica. You make it easy. So thank you so much. It's been great being up here, and I think a warm
Thank you,
hand,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Monica will be back for a Q&A, and I think that Amber's going to come out now and tell you guys about the design process. So.
So I really love the Monica Vinader range. It makes me feel effortlessly chic and I don't have to think about it. It's interesting and wonderful and great and inspiring to see variations on the theme of strong woman. I think we can't just look at the power suit of the 80s. A power woman is not just the CEO of a company. There's lots of different shades of that. I think for me, like the original strong woman was my grandmother. Right now, I'm actually really lucky. I've got a circle of some super creative women with amazing ideas and who are doing really amazing things. I'm inspired by them, then I'm like, okay, they can do it, I can do it. I just think that it's a strong feminine force for change can only be a good thing.
Please welcome Monica Vinader, lead designer, Amber Moff. Come on up, Amber.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. That was our 10-year anniversary video, which we launched for our campaign, which is just testament to, I think, how our customers view our product. So I'm really here today to talk to you about the inspiration behind some of our collections and hopefully drive forward, as Monica was explaining, the design integrity and the authentic inspiration that we are so passionate about. So to start with, I'm going to talk about Siren, which is our most iconic gemstone collection. And Siren, which you can see here in the Spring-Summer 19 campaign, is really about the vibrancy of gemstones, celebrating natural gemstones in beautifully irregular shapes. It's about the faceting, the hand-cut, artisanal beauty of them. And I think the beauty for us as the design team is really exploring the different gemstones that we can use seasonally, making sure that we've got brights and lights and everything for every different customer. Ultimately, the lifestyle behind Siren is about this sort of Mediterranean glamour and wearing your jewels on the beach and having that very luxurious feel. And I think every season we want to try and maintain that feel. So hopefully what you can see here is a little snippet of that. And the stackability of our Siren rings, the way that you can interchange them with other collections, is something that we always want to drive forward. So this season, actually launching on Thursday, is our brand new Siren collection, where we'll be introducing smaller scales of hand-faceted gemstones. And part of that drive is really to play to the delicate trend that we know is happening right now and offer the customer the ability to be more simple if they want to be, and also to layer up if they want to. So ultimately, by having different scales, they can be more playful. We're also being a bit bolder, and we're introducing a cocktail friendship chain bracelet, which you may have seen in one of these campaign images. There's a big sort of hand-cut nugget shape. The beauty of that is that if you've fallen in love with a stone and you love its color, then why not wear it on your wrist? And I think the color for us and that vibrancy of Siren is something that we always want to get across. So next up, as a collection that's really plays to a lot of our core brand values is Neura. So Neura allows us to play with plain, high-polished surfaces, as well as pave set pieces, which the diamonds are filled right to the edge, alongside highly faceted natural turquoise in this case. So we're able to play with three of our core areas: diamonds, plain, and gemstones. And that ability to be able to interchange between the three of them, stack the three of them together, and have that sort of eclectic feel is very important to us. The shapes within Neura are very simple. And again, as Monica has mentioned, simplicity is really core to our sort of brand identity. So whenever we look at nature, we try and abstract it. We try and simplify it. It's never literal. And for us, Neura is all about tumbled pebbles. So actually, Neura is the old name for Menorca, an island which Monica still holidays at, and she actually brings back pebbles from her holiday, which we reference directly as shapes for this collection. So it's incredibly authentic. We also look at modern sculpture and the way that that kind of three-dimensional form makes you want to touch it. And the tactile feature of Neura is incredibly important to us. So it has a very domed profile, and that's really important. We want the customer to be able to feel it and engage with it and fall in love with it. So for this season, in March, we're launching a lot of new diamond and plain pieces. Excitingly, we're launching pre-stacked rings, which is something that we've launched in another collection of ours called Riva. And it really enables the customer to engage with something and not feel overwhelmed by having to build a stack themselves. So it's a pretty easy gift also. The beauty of Neura, as I mentioned, is the interchanging between the plain and the diamond. So we've introduced a lot of new styles which shows that alternate plain high polished surface alongside the diamonds, which is a really beautiful juxtaposition. So Neura, I think this season is incredibly exciting, and equally, because of our engraving offer, we're introducing a necklace which you can engrave almost like a plaque. So you will have seen, I think, in one of the images that passed, a campaign image of a necklace with an engraving, and that's the one I'm talking about. So the beauty of that is that the high polished surface can shine brightly if you don't want anything and it stands on its own, or if you want a hidden message, you can engrave on the back, or if you want to show off something, you can engrave it on the front. It's very versatile. So the third and final collection that I want to talk to you about is Alta Capture, which is the ultimate customizable bracelet. And this is incredibly exciting for us. And really just to showcase how it works and the playfulness, I just want to play a short video. So hopefully that kind of speaks for itself. The idea of expressing yourself through this bracelet, this Alta Capture charm bracelet, which literally captures your pendant charms in any order, in any quantity that you would like. And I think going back to what Monica was saying about really allowing the customer to make our jewelry their own, this bracelet really embodies all of that. So the beauty of it is that every alternate link is a capture link, which can capture any pendant charm of ours or any ones that their customer has of their own. From day to day, you can interchange your pendant assortment. You could wear it completely, fully blown, eclectic, or you can wear it pared back and simple. The chain itself is beautiful, so it's beautiful without anything on it. And going back to the kind of core of our inspiration, we wanted to make sure that we had something without any of the pendant charms that we loved. And so finding the right shape for that link, finding the right proportions was a real labor of love, and it actually took us probably 2 years to develop it and really sign it off as final. So the beauty of Alta is that the shape isn't just rectangular, it's not just a generic link. It's got a beautiful little indent in every link, which makes it feel like you've pressed your thumb in it. That juxtaposition between irregularity and precision is something that we love. And I think the inspiration of mid-century sculpture and industrial shipping links and something that has function and form is ultimately what we wanted to try and maintain. And I think, hopefully, you'll all agree that it's a great product. So, moving on from... Moving on from the customization of our bracelets, I think what follows on to that is our engraving offer. And as Monica mentioned, engraving is a core part of our brand DNA. And even during the design process, we are thinking about ways of engraving. We're thinking about how big the space is to allow our customers to engrave, whether they'd like to engrave on the front or the back or the side. So we think about it and consider it and design it into our pieces right at the very outset. I think the most important thing about our engraving is that the customer ultimately puts their own stamp on it. And you can see here from this machine, this is just one example of many machines that we have. By the end of 2019, we will have this engraving service and this machine in every one of our stores nationwide, as well as thank you, as well as an online offer. So this is something that we feel very committed to. And as a service, as I've said, we feel passionate about rolling out and making it quick and easy and playful. So the customer has a choice of doing a doodle or choosing a motif or a date or a name, something that feels special to them. And the time it takes is same day. So it should be easy, and I think that value is so important. So just to end, I wanted to share with you a video. And this video is incredibly touching. It's by the DRM of, or your DRM, I should say, of Southern California, the accessories division, Melinda Sherman. And she explains her own story of our engraving service and really the true value of that complimentary service. So if you don't mind just watching this.
Hi, I'm Melinda. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I'm a working woman at Nordstrom. And what I want to share with you is my experience with Monica Vinader engraving. So, when you think about it, the biggest commitment you make in life is represented through a piece of jewelry. And it's not about the size of the stone or the metal it's made out of. What's important is how it makes you feel and what it represents to you. And that is truly the beauty behind engraving. And with that said, think about it. If you got a big promotion at work and you want to celebrate that date, you can engrave it on a piece of jewelry. Or let's say like me, I have a piece where I have the names of all my 3 sons, and it's a bracelet that I love to wear. But most importantly, one of my favorite pieces of jewelry that I own from Monica Vinader is my signature bangle. I had the opportunity to engrave my mother's signature on it and a little love note from her underneath that's just for me. And what I love about this bracelet is that it's not just a piece of jewelry. It's actually an extension of who I am. And the reason being is that I get to wear it every day. It reminds me of her, and it allows her to be with me, even though she's now in heaven. So, with that being said, that's what Monica Vinader engraving allows you to do. It allows you to tell your story. So with that, what story do you want to tell with Monica Vinader?
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's just testament to everything that we're trying to do.
Well, on that note, Monica is going to join us again, and we're going to open up to Q&A. Amber, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Hi.
Okay, hi, I'm back.
Who has a question for Monica? Yeah.